skipped main content. We've scored plenty of memorable goals in home North London derbies over recent years. From Bergkamp to Bentner, Henry to Mertesacker, we've selected 5 of our favorites in the video above. But which is your favorite? Make sure you them all and then vote below. Copyright 2017 The Arsenal Football Club plc. Permission to use quotations from this article is granted subject to appropriate credit being given to www.arsenal.com as the source. Tony Adams, Patrick Vieira, Dennis Bergkamp. We have been seen some of the toughest players ever to wear the Arsenal shirt during the Arsene Wenger era. But just how important is this aspect of the game? The boss had this to say in his pre-match press conference on Thursday on quotes questioning the squad's toughness. Well, that's the kind of remarks you've had for 20 years. I remember many people asked me if Pires would be tough enough to play in the derby. This is a guy who scored more goals than anybody in the derby. At the end of the day, it's down to the quality of the game, on if this team are as tough as those of the past. Yes, it depends. We have to agree on what is tough and what is not tough. I believe that a football player has to be efficient, and that counts the most. Efficiency, if you're a defender, is not to make any mistakes and to win the ball. If you're a striker, it's to put the ball into the back of the net. Is that tough? It doesn't matter too much, it's how efficient you are in your game. Copyright 2017 The Arsenal Football Club plc. Permission to use quotations from this article is granted subject to appropriate credit being given to www.arsenal.com as the source. With more than 20 years of experience of competing in North London derbies, Arsene Wenger knows exactly what is required if his side are to beat Tottenham on Saturday. The Arsenal manager is well aware of the passion that surrounds these games, but says it is just as important to keep a cool head in the heat of battle. First of all, there's always pride involved, the desire to beat your opponent like all the neighbors in the world have. Wenger said, it's always a fierce derby. As well, to keeping your nerve, you must have commitment while being lucid and calm enough to focus on the game. It's one of the fixtures that is very important for us and that we want to win, as well, because in the table we have to make some ground up on the top teams. At home we have been very strong, and our home strength will certainly be vital to decide where we finish at the end of the season. I think Tottenham are a good side, but we have the quality to win this game, and that's what we want to show. Copyright 2017 The Arsenal Football Club plc. Permission to use quotations from this article is granted subject to appropriate credit being given to www.arsenal.com as the source. Like every North London derby, there are a series of intriguing subplots ahead of Saturday's game. How will Alexander Lacazette cope with his first experience of this match? How will we keep Harry Kane quiet? Will Jack Wilshere be drafted into the team? How dangerous is Serge Aurier? This is what the boss had to say in his pre-match press conference on Lacazette and whether he will start his first big game for the club. I have a big choice to make every time, big decisions to make up front. But he's played many games, Alexander Lacazette. He didn't play away from home at City. I think that's the only game he didn't start along with Liverpool. I trust him completely. On if Lacazette will start on Saturday. The decision is not made yet, but it's a possibility because he's available. On if there's plan to deal with Harry Kane, to keep him quiet, yes. On if Kane is player Arsenal fear most. We have no fear, we are just focused on nullifying their strong points and expressing our strong points. On what Jack Wilshere needs to do to get in the England squad. To keep fit and work hard, and it is what he does at the moment. It's going well for him. At the moment he is on plan, and slowly I think he will get into the plans of Southgate again, and his creative aspects of his game, if he keeps fit, will be a big asset for him. On whether he will start in the Premier League. Yes, he is very close. Just a question for me is to decide to start him or not, but he is ready to play. On Serge Aurier, he's a good player who has good power to go forward and is always dangerous. He played against us with PSG, and overall I think he is a top-class right back. On the BBC survey suggesting that young fans aren't going to football. I think nothing is better to share the experience of a stadium, inside a stadium, and there are many ingredients now in the modern game that could incite people not to go so much. First of all, the lifestyle is a bit different. They play less, they play more on computers. That is a bit more an individual experience than a collective experience. Playing with your partners is collective, playing on the computer is more of an individual experience. After that you have the fact that the security and gathering people is a problem as well in the heads of many. After, can you afford as well to go to the stadiums? When you are young, that's not always easy, so there are many ingredients we need to take care of in the game. Copyright 2017 The Arsenal Football Club plc. Permission to use quotations from this article is granted subject to appropriate credit being given to www.arsenal.com as the source. He is arguably the best Tottenham manager that Arsene Wenger has had to face in his time at the club, but what does the boss think of his opposite number? Read on for extra quotes from Thursday's pre-match press conference ahead of the North London derby on if he sees some of himself in Pochettino. I don't know. I don't want to judge people. I think he's done an exceptional job and he's a good manager. After that, in our job it's the distances and the quality that make the difference. He has all the ingredients to go a long way, but overall it's very difficult to know and to predict what will happen in his career. On if he could have Wenger's longevity. I don't know. He will certainly be a manager for a long time, but that's down to everybody's choice. How long do you want to go? How long will you have the health and the confidence of people? That goes very quickly now. On if there was an overreaction to Tottenham finishing above Arsenal. We won the FA Cup and we made 75 points, so overall I think our achievement was quite positive, even if it was a disappointment for us not to finish in the Champions League for the first time in 21 years. On the players being disappointed to finish below Tottenham, yes, they were disappointed, but not to finish below Tottenham. To finish outside the top four was a big disappointment, because it was the first time in the history of the Premier League that with 75 points you don't finish in the top four. I still feel it was very harsh on us, but people forget we won the FA Cup in a very stylish way, playing against City in the semi and Chelsea in the final. When a team is close to making the double, usually they make it, but we finished the season in a very strong way. So overall I believe that it was a disappointment to finish outside the top four. On if the proximity of clubs in the table gives him extra motivation. No, the real motivation for me is to do as well as we have the potential in our team to get to the maximum of the potential. The target is not to compare to Tottenham. On the balance of power concept, it is a question you have to answer, and the only way to answer it is on the pitch. The conclusion of people will be the comparison of the two performances on Saturday. We have a good opportunity to show we are the strongest, so let's do it. On his message to the fans, just to support the team and stand with us for 90 minutes. That's what you want from your fans, and that's what I'm confident they will do. On the fans being united for a derby game. Maybe in this fixture it is less important because it will be natural for them, but in other fixtures, yes. Copyright 2017 The Arsenal Football Club plc. Permission to use quotations from this article is granted subject to appropriate credit being given to www.arsenal.com as the source. With 3 North London derbies under his belt so far, Petr Cech knows exactly what this electric fixture means to everyone connected with the club. The veteran goalkeeper is looking forward to Saturday's game, and is eager to get one over our biggest rivals. It's always a special game, the North London derby, he said. With the atmosphere and the electricity in the crowd, obviously you look forward to this game and you need to make sure you win a game like this, not only because it's a North London derby, but because it's a rival that challenges us for a top 4 spot. You need to make sure in these types of games that you get all 3 points. You are always aware of that they are rivals, and as I said, going into Saturday's game you can feel how much it means to everybody at Arsenal, and with the fans the rivalry has always been there. It means so much to everybody. There is a lot of passion, a lot of emotion, and when you have 60,000 people with these emotions and with this passion, it transfers onto the pitch. That's a little bit of extra pressure on players as well, and I think it's the kind of situation where your performance usually rises because it's that feeling as a kid you always dreamt of being involved in big games. The atmosphere makes it more special to players as well. Copyright 2017 The Arsenal Football Club plc. Permission to use quotations from this article is granted subject to appropriate credit being given to www.arsenal.com as the source. We face Tottenham on Saturday afternoon, and you can tune into our live coverage from Emirates Stadium from midday UK time. Make sure you visit arsenal.com for the following Matt Gay Show, with live build-up from midday UK time and audio commentary from 12:30 p.m. UK time, live text commentary featuring minute updates and insights from our fans on Twitter. A short goals clip, extended highlights and a match replay will be available from midnight on Saturday. It's all free with digital membership, and remember, you can listen on the Arsenal app too. Copyright 2017 The Arsenal Football Club plc. Permission to use quotations from this article is granted subject to appropriate credit being given to www.arsenal.com as the source. We host Tottenham in the North London Derby on Saturday and we want your videos to tell the story of the day. We'd like you to capture all the emotions of the derby, from the moment you wake up right through to the post-match celebrations. Simply film the best parts of your day, whether it be your pre-match meal, your journey to the game, or bar, or party, to your mid-game and post-game reactions. We want to see it all. Whether you post on Instagram, Twitter or Facebook, make sure you use the hashtag #MyArsenalMatK if you want your story to be included in our special derby video. Please note, by uploading any social media content using the hashtag #MyArsenalMatK, you agree that the content complies with the terms of use of the social media platform. You retain any ownership rights in the content, in accordance with those same terms of use, and you grant Arsenal an irrevocable, worldwide, royalty-free, non-exclusive license to use, adapt and publish the content on Arsenal's Facebook page. Copyright 2017, The Arsenal Football Club plc. Permission to use quotations from this article is granted, subject to appropriate credit being given to www.arsenal.com as the source.